Hello everybody, welcome to Idle Game Chat. This is Dimp Digital's weekly video games podcast. You've got myself, Apps, here, running the operations as usual, and I'm joined by Logan. Logan, how you doing, mate?
Yep, not too bad. Just me on my own again. Can go off on rants unchallenged, some might say.
Yeah, this probably will change, but due to laziness and a lack of forward thinking, one-on-ones have been installed for a little while. It doesn't help that Hall's internet's been out for the last weeks or so it would have been ideal to have him on today, but you know, it wasn't an option that was going to be tabled unless we were going to deal with spotty 4G connections, which after what happened when I used my phone, I felt like that was a not worth the risk, because that was the worst sounding podcast we've ever had. And I have to bring this up with you because you were the man who's on audio control there, quality control. You went, yep, sign that off, that sounds alright. Need your ears tested.
Did I?
Yeah, but well, I couldn't record it, could I? So that was the time when I had no gear and I was doing it on my phone. I said, and we done a few tests, and I went, does that sound alright? I can't tell, obviously, you've got to listen to it. And you signed it off and went, yep.
Sounded all right though. I don't. The thing is, I think you've been spoilt maybe by the fact that I use a proper mic and that you're normally hosting.
Yeah, maybe.
So when you then hear just me on my voice when I'm hosting, it sounds crystal clear, and then put that up against some shithole voice, whether it's coming through the internet or not. I don't think it's going to get much better than that. I made an executive decision because I knew that brain wouldn't let you have it.
No, it's true.
So I had to take that one and just go, yeah.
I should have tried another headset at least, though. I mean, there would have been at least an effort. Because what happened when Dave Salmon was on with the Vive last week, he was using his wireless headset, sounded fine, and he got up and moved rooms, but the signal wasn't quite as strong, kept cutting out, so we had to drop it. Put him on the actual Skype phone, it to hold it up to his ear roll, sounded fine. I thought, anyway. Wow. And I was using an earpiece, wasn't I, when I did my bit, and that was an awful decision.
Wire?
Yeah, little worm. It's actually expensive. Well, not an expensive, decent headset, but the microphone's obviously no good, so back to the drawing board there. We've got a couple of links into the last podcast you were on, and they're very mild links. I'm forcing the issue to make it sound like there's any connection.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even remember what these links are.
Well, first one, Watchdogs 2 released this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Getting decent reviews.
Yeah.
Day one, not a great deal of reviews because the seamless online multiplayer element to it wasn't working, and to my knowledge, it's still not working. Media come along, they get the game probably a week before. I think they got all game the week before the release. So unlike Bethesda, Ubisoft go, no, you can have that a week before. Get them out, then get the reviews day one. Comes to day one, they go, well, that online multiplayer is not working, that element of it. So rather than publish the review in its state, they delay it a few days, like a couple of days, maybe 3 days. And then put the review out, and it's still not working anyway, so they've had to release the review saying, well, it doesn't work properly. It seemed alright, but if you can get it working. But I think actually Ubisoft have pulled it down now. Anyway, the main point of this was that we were debating for quite a long time about whether what Bethesda had done by withholding the review copies until the day before release meant, there's not going to be any day one reviews. And the media obviously were kicking off saying, well, this is a disgrace, like, we can't do our jobs, and yet they've had the opportunity here to release these reviews on day one, and yet decided, nah, we'll give them a little bit of extra rope, give them a little bit of extra time to do it, and release the reviews 3 days later. To me, that smells of hypocrisy. Because they were moaning about not being able to get day ones out, and now here, what they should have done is gone, it's not ready, this is the game in the state, day one here, not go, they might fix it, they said they would, let's give them a few days. Where's their clicks now?
Yeah. I don't really know where to go with that one. That makes it a bit awkward, really. No, so the way I see it is there's no point in just chucking it out anyway out of spite, which is what you want them to do.
Well, I want consistency.
There ain't no consistency in anything, mate.
Well,
consistency is a pipe dream in any event. You're never getting it.
If they're crying about not being able to get the reviews out in a timely fashion for Bethesda games, and they shouldn't be crying. They shouldn't be going, "Oh, we'll let this one slide for." I know it's only a few days, but the principle was that they were saying we can't offer our consumers a valid guide on whether to buy this game on day one.
Mate, people don't like having their hands tied. That's all it is. They don't like having these things forced on them.
No.
That's all it boils down to, is power struggle. Isn't it? That's all it is, because they get it a week before and then they can put it out when they like. But they've had it a week. If they want to get it out for day one, they can. Whereas for something like this, they go, well, I can get it out day one, but actually, there's not. I won't. I'll save it. So I think there's a little bit of a difference in.
No, yeah. I mean, the actual route as to how it has happened is apples and oranges. This is not Ubisoft haven't tried to hide anything or released it late. However, the net result is still the same. There were only ever impressions available really on day one, apart from a few outlets that went forward and did it, but most held off and even put out saying this is why our review's not ready because of this. And yeah, you could get impressions there, but if you worked hard enough, you could have got Dishonored impression out on a Saturday or on the day of release. They're getting it a day before still. You could play that for 5 hours and chuck that up, couldn't you? And say this is what it's like after 5 hours. But they don't want to be doing that. Sick of it.
It's a lot of work, isn't it?
Well, it's their job. I always thought.
It's a lot of work, this video malarkey. Got to edit the bastard, and then you got to come back to it.
Well,
do another one.
They've actually got people that edit for them, just solely do edits. So
wouldn't be that bad, this whole gig, if you just make material and then give it to someone and just go, make that a video, please.
I do think that sometimes. I just pass all this on to someone when you just put that up on that day. And again, like you say, it takes it out of my hands and I haven't got to worry about it.
Because the fun bit is doing the video and the material, the editing bit. Some people would probably disagree. Some people probably enjoy editing.
Yeah, sometimes I do. It depends what it is. Or how long. It can be frustrating though, because if you can't get something right, then that's when it becomes an issue.
It's all the timing and stuff that I can't get my head around. But this ain't what people have.
Well, they might want to look behind the curtain, so that's what they're getting here. Don't get it elsewhere. Not even getting their reviews because Ubisoft are on the good books. They gave it a week early. That's what it feels like to me, anyway. They didn't want to
preferential treatment. You don't
almost,
like that.
Almost. I mean, it's probably not. No, they probably. But why is that getting the slack when games like Street Fighter 5 still hasn't had a re-review from most sites because that's got a whole new story mode added. There was no content at launch. And they've beefed that game up. Drive Club, another one that was broken at launch, similar to Watchdogs 2, and that's now a fully functioning game. We've got it. It's a decent little game. It's a good little racer. That's not getting any updated opinion. Okay, the timescales obviously for them getting fixed were much longer.
I was going to say to you,
but we don't know how long it's going to take for this to drop in. Really.
But isn't that part of the review that when you release a game, if it's fucking... I mean, look, you could release an half-baked game and go, well... Yeah. And then spend the next 2 years fixing it and go, right, well, it's done now. Yeah. Review it now. So it's been on my plate for 2 years.
Yeah.
What do you want from me? So it's a hard one, that. What you should be releasing is the game that you want it to be reviewed as. That is...
Yeah, that's true.
My opinion. You're saying, right, this is what you're going to pay your money for.
Yeah.
This is what your review has got to be based on. That's my opinion, because if it ain't ready, don't release it.
Yeah.
So if I was reviewing something and, for example, FIFA.
God forbid.
If I bought that and online didn't work, then that's a big part of that game.
Yeah.
It obviously affects the review. Whether they like that or not. So it's the same with this. I don't think it should be a given that when they finally get these games working, however long it is after release, I don't think it's necessarily unfair, or I think it is unfair to then expect a re-review to a certain extent. I don't think it shouldn't be the default. It should be the exception where something probably deserves it on a one-off basis. But something like Drive Club, when you release something in that kind of state, and then go all that time later and go, right, here we are, sorted now. Now what do you think? You go, well, yeah, it's actually all right, but you should have done that 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, this is the problem. There's no real answer to it, unfortunately.
Sitting there trying to take that in, that ridiculous waffle.
Yeah, the point. Well, I guess the thing about Watchdogs is the multiplayer or the seamless multiplayer takes up a very small amount of the. It's a small part of the game. It's not like, say, a Drive Club where you can play that offline, but the whole point of that game was to join a club, earn points, progress as a club, race against others, that sort of thing. So I think if the focus of the game is not multiplayer, you can get away with it not working.
Yeah.
Which is what they've done with it, because it's scored quite highly, higher than I was expecting. It looks like they've done a good job at steering the franchise away from a lot of the mistakes that were made in the first one. They've rectified and gone, a bit more outrageous, maybe too far in some people's eyes.
What was wrong with the first one? Because there was a little bit of hate towards that, I felt.
Well, the problem with that is I think we get to E3 20, whatever it was, 12 or 13, I can't remember off the top of my head, and we get this incredible demo that comes out. Like The Division, when that fucking dropped, that looked amazing on that first demo.
Yeah.
And the graphics looked good, there was lots of detail, it looked very fluid. And then we get a delay, and we get another, and I think we may have got 2 delays. And then once the demo surfaced for the game that was gonna go and ship, that was actually gonna land the shelves, there was a big graphical downgrade.
Right.
And that got people's backs up immediately. Like, as soon as that happens, you're fighting an uphill battle, really, aren't you? Like, when people see that, they're like, well, you've not conned us because we've not bought anything yet, but that has changed an awful lot. And the thing is, this happens with nearly every game demo. You go back and look at Uncharted stuff, I'm sure you could pick holes in that and say, well, that's not like that in the real game. Like, it's there. It's just they're showing you a slice of the game, and it's running at the maximum it possibly is. Then when the game released, it sold very well. I think it was one of the best-selling IPs for a long time, Watchdogs. But critically, it was a bit lukewarm. It was, which was fair at the time. It was over-promised and under-delivered, really. The gameplay wasn't that compelling, and it was just a bit bland. The story didn't help. Like, Aidan Pierce was a boring old bastard to be around for 30 hours, and they just didn't quite get it right. It took itself a bit too seriously. Whereas this, from what I've read and what I've seen, is more like it's closer to Saints Row than anything. I.e., it's out there. It's not taking itself seriously at all. It's nice and colourful. I mean, you compare the sunny skies of San Francisco in Watch Dogs 2 compared to Chicago's horrible rainy city in Chicago, then it's night and day. And I think it's just a much more. It feels like, from what I've seen, it looks like there's actually, besides plugging through the story, there's stuff to do in the open world that make it enjoyable. Unlike a lot of open world games that try and go down that route. GTA obviously does it very well. You don't have to do the story at all in that, but a lot of them don't tend to be successful at doing that. It sounds like this is. And Watch Dogs, I thought it was okay, but it was never, oh, you must go out and buy this. And what it was, that very first demo just set expectations like this is next gen, and it really felt like it could have been done on last gen, to be honest.
Like most of the games that come out.
Yeah, you could argue that. You could say that not a lot's moved forward. But with the PlayStation 4 Pro, the new supercharged PlayStation 4, will that be starting to push boundaries? I doubt it.
Seems unlikely, doesn't it? But it's interesting to see where Watch Dogs 2 goes. I'm
interested. I'm really sniffing now. Like, I've just got a fuck the seamless multiplayer. I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
From a selfish point of view, I was just scraping together a topic here. I don't give a toss if it doesn't work. I don't want people messing around in my game, to be honest, whilst I'm wandering around. Fuck off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was basically, my plan was Gears of War 4, get that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Then The Last Guardian, and then maybe a Battlefront or Titanfall 2, depending on what people have gone for. Seems like at the moment it's Battlefield 1, so that's probably going to get bought. I wasn't going to buy anything else for the rest of the year. I was going to clear down the backlog properly, run through all the discs here, like go for the Fallout DLC. I think that's actually the only real thing I've got outstanding. Do a bit more Project Cars. I've got into that a little bit more.
Destiny.
And obviously, yeah, Destiny, and carry on with the Heist. There's plenty to be getting on with, but when this came lurking out of the doldrums of a few decent scores, and looking at the videos, looking how it plays, I was like, well, it's a contender. But again, I have to look at it and go, that's another time sink. That's not a 10-hour job, that's a 30-hour jobby. And have I got the time for that at the moment? Does help that since I should update people, the PC's here when I'm recording this off the new rig, so should hopefully get some video content out on the channel shortly once we find out some time to sit down and sort that. The Watchdogs 2 version on the PC's 2 weeks after release, so it'll actually be releasing in about 10 days or so. So that's helped because the hype might have died down by then. And I was thinking that'll probably be a good game to get on PC if it looks good and I can run it, which Adkins seems to think I'll be able to run it. So
is he just the go-to guy for this now?
Adkins
Will
and
this
Salmon,
run on my PC? Yes or no? Is it worth getting on PC? Yes or no?
Yeah, I mean that's the thing now. It's interesting because I have to actually really look into the PC reviews and see whether the port's any good, because Watchdogs. This is another reason why Watchdogs got a bit of a thumb up its arse last time. Terrible PC port at launch, run like shit. So obviously, Master Race livid.
Good.
That never helps.
Get a console.
Wow, I've got two, mate, and what are they offering?
Very little.
I'm now being asked to pay another 350 quid to play games that look better, and I'm like, well, hang on. And then later on, we'll get to it. We've got Phil Spencer blouting off about premium prices for the Scorpio. What's that all about?
It's all getting too much for me. It used to be so simple. All I had to worry about was when COD was coming out and FIFA.
Yeah.
Football Manager, that was it. Done for the year.
You've cost yourself now getting snarled up in all this rubbish.
Well, that's the trouble. I just don't need the hassle. There's too much to go. There's too much going on nowadays. Isn't there? When you think about it, there's too much going on.
Yeah.
Life used to be a lot simpler.
It's
then
good to have choices, though.
Well, then you've got indie games popping up left, right and centre that need time. And then it's just too much going on. There's DLCs, there's game holding me up. It's all kicking off, so...
Well, speaking of game holding you up, let's move on now. Watchdogs 2 done. Media in the wrong. You've had a bit of a nightmare trying to get hold of Battlefield 1. So it's only, like I said, this is the connection to the last episode that you were on. You were singing their praises about this VR charging, going, oh, what a great business model. They need to be doing it. They can't be losing money to the likes of these scumbags. I love them. I love Game. They're my favourite out. That's basically what you were saying.
I'll just encourage the listeners at this point to go back and listen to what I actually said. There's a little link back to podcast, whatever it was, 3 weeks ago.
There was praises being sung for their business acumen and their intelligence on charging for VR. And you were saying they need to make money, and I did say to you, look, they'll be charging more than £10 more than other stores for the games. They're making the money elsewhere. They don't need this extra bit of cash. So, this is almost karma, I feel, what has occurred to you. And I'm going to let you take over and go through the story and explain this. And at the end, I'll ask you whether you're still happy with them charging for VR, because they can't even get the basics right.
So, 8th of November.
You got the dates.
Right. I start sniffing and go, right, where are the best deals for these games that I want? I want Gears. Bearing in mind, the week after the 8th, I've got a week off, so I'm thinking 2 new games, get some good play time in.
Yeah.
So, right, where's the best place for me to buy these from? I've got a little bit of credit on my game card.
Simply Games have already burnt you by bungling the Destiny.
So delivery is not an option, basically.
Right, you
so
want to go in the store and get it.
That's what I want to do. I don't want to try this delivery because it can't be trusted anymore. Right? So I've already cut off a lot of my choices there already.
Yeah, that's a lot.
So it's basically where's cheapest for me to buy now.
As there ain't got any stock.
It's £46 in in Tesco. Tesco didn't stock Gears 4 either, so they were written off. So I thought, right, well, I've got £110 or whatever on my game card.
Yeah.
How much is it on their website?
Yeah.
So I had a look, £45. I thought, well, that's cheaper than Tesco, and I can use my game credit. So for me, that works out. 90 quid for the 2, job done. And at some point, I've then got the trading value on them still. So that's good. Go down to game on the 8th, same day. Look at them on the shelf, $49.99. So I go, right. Well, why is that? If you went onto any website and it was more on the website than it was and it was more in store than on the website, you go, hang on a minute. Yeah. On your website, what's going on here? Like, why are the prices different? Imagine if you went to Tesco and went, that pie. Yeah. Really like that pie. It's £1.50 on the website. You go in there, £3. You go, what?
Well, that's double, isn't it?
Well, it's smaller amounts. If it was had an extra 10p on it, you'd just pay it, wouldn't you? But this is different.
Wow.
So
well, people are saying they just pay the £5, aren't they? They're like, well, there you go.
I went up to this bald geezer.
What, is he work there? Or is he just random?
No. Well, he looked like he might have. I think he might have been a store manager.
They normally have a.
He already looked like he looked like he had the ump, and I was like, I don't know what I've done here. I don't know if he was annoyed about the fact that I've come in wearing a shirt or something. I don't know, but he seemed upset by my presence, and I hadn't done anything.
Was it busy in there?
Nah. So weren't even busy. Didn't have any excuse.
Maybe that's why he weren't hitting any sales targets, and he was like, "Fucking."
Well, I said to him, want to buy 2 games, Gears and Battlefield on the Xbox. He went, yeah. I went, they're £50 over there.
Both of them? Gears was still 50 quid? You're joking.
Both were, and I just out of curiosity, and I said to you, didn't I? COD was $54.99.
Yeah.
£55 they're charging for that. But anyway, so yeah, £100 it was for the 2. But it was more out of principle that I was annoyed that the prices were different.
Oh, yeah, it's not the money, is it? It's the principle.
It's the principle, the fact that it's more for no apparent reason. And surely it's more hassle for them to deliver it to me online than it is for me to walk in there myself and get it. But anyway, so I said to him, so they're more on the shelf online. And he just went, yep. And that got my back up because I was like, well, I'm clearly a customer, and you don't go around just yepping me. It ain't acceptable. So I was like, well, why is there a price difference? Can you not match that in store then? And he went, nope. Yeah. So I was like, right, well, why? I just thought, well, why is that? Why is it different? Why have you got different prices online and in store? And it's basically what it boils down to is the fact that it's a franchise and that they have to compete with other online retailers, whereas in store he basically went, well, you can come in, buy it, you can have it now, whereas if you order it online you have to wait for it, so you're actually for some reason paying a premium for the convenience, even though it's more hassle for them. So I just walked out. I thought, I ain't doing that. He's a cunt. I thought, do you know what, if I'm going to buy it from store, I'm not even going to buy it from Basildon, I'll buy it from Southend because they're good boys. So I just thought, fuck yeah. Anyway, I went back online. I thought, well, hang on a minute. What about getting it delivered to store then? Because and it said online, one working day, and I can get it. I was like, well, I'm not playing it tonight, so I'll just do that.
Absolutely.
Ordered it online for pick up in store. Confirmation email, 2 to 3 working days. Wow. Right, you've already told me 1. Yep. Which seemed hopeful, but I thought maybe they just use the same stock. Go, yep, been delivered.
Yeah, they don't.
They literally get it delivered in, so it takes 2 to 3 days.
It's pathetic.
So I was like, all right then. Well, that'll still be here by the weekend, so that'll be fine. That'll be there ready for my holiday. As of today, no, the next day, sorry, I got confirmation that it had been dispatched. So I was like, well, this is going well. So the 9th of November, they said, yep, it's been dispatched. As of today, I still do not have the confirmation email that it's been received in store. Yeah. So I was like, right, that is 8 working days after I ordered.
Just for clarity, it's the 20th. It's the 18th, isn't it, today that we're recording this?
Today.
So it goes out on the 20th, but as we're recording this, this is the state of play.
So that is effectively 10 days after I place the order, right? which is just completely unacceptable. So today, I tried to call him I think on my phone about 17 times.
Get on that chat.
Right, here we go.
Yeah.
So I've also, in between this time, tweeted game help and the Basildon Game Store to say, what the fucking hell is going on? Can somebody just tell me what is going on? I haven't had anything since the 9th when you told me it had been dispatched. Got 90 quid worth of games just sitting here waiting for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I thought, right, I'm going to get on that chat to him. I started talking to Phil on the chat.
Was he called Phil?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's called Phil, and I said to him what the situation was. I spent about 10 minutes talking to him, maybe longer than that. Went, all right, I'll give him a call. And they said, right, I can't get hold of him either, so you'll just have to walk in there and see if it's there. And I said, well, Phil, I'm sorry, but I've got it delivered to that store because I work there. Yeah. I ain't at work, so I ain't going all the way up there just to see if it's there for them to go, nah, sorry, and then I've got to drive all the way back.
Yeah.
I ain't doing that. I'm not stupid. So you be doing something. And then he disconnected. So I was like, fuck. Anyway, I start talking to Jade. Hello, Jade.
Yep.
How can I help you? Fucking hell. 10 minutes talking to Jade.
Yep.
She went, have you tried to call the store? Yep. No answer. Are you using the right number? Yes, Jade, I'm using the right fucking number. What are we doing here? I'm asking you to help me, and you ask me stupid questions like that. Jade cuts off.
You swear at her, though?
No, I was being polite and professional.
Yeah, but in your head...
But in my head, I'm getting fucked off royally now, because I've tried to tweet their help store, like their help Twitter handle. They told me to call them. I can't get an answer. Right, so that's not helpful. I've tweeted the actual Basildon store. They ain't replied, even though they're active on Twitter. So they're fucking avoiding me. And then I've had Phil cut me off. And Jade. It's just cut out because I haven't said anything for 30 seconds. Right? So I started talking to Tom.
Oh, God.
Right?
Yeah.
So come
on,
10
Tom.
minutes of rigmarole with Tom.
Yeah.
Eventually, he said, have you called him? I went, yes. It ain't happening. He goes, right, let me call him. Fuck it.
Phil tried this half hour ago.
That's what I said, can you talk to Phil or Jade? They'll bring you up to speed. Just didn't answer. But anyway, Tom eventually comes back to me and says, I've tracked the order, it's there. I went, thanks, Tom. I'll go and pick it up tomorrow morning.
Oh, my God.
But fuck me.
Yeah.
What an absolute palaver. And I said to him, I haven't had a confirmation. When I was speaking to Phil, I said, I haven't had a confirmation here. And he said, yeah, the system's probably gone down.
Oh, that's
well,
helpful.
so he's obviously I've bought it with my game reward points, right?
Yeah.
My game reward card would be on there, on the order, which is linked to my phone number. So why would you not call me and say, your order's here? I'd go, all right, I'll be down and pick it up. So, actually, for the sake of a tenner, I've actually created myself a load of hassle.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to play my new games on my holiday, so it's been good.
I'll tell you what the annoying thing for you is that obviously today I sent you a little message and Battlefield 1 on Xbox One is on the cheap for £36 digital. I mean, there's no trading value obviously, but you know, if it's going to be a long-term fixture, that would have been ideal, really, wouldn't it? If that was last week. Yeah,
it's good. It's good getting it from game because you do get. Obviously, I build up my credit and then I get it, and it doesn't hit my bank account, so it's just like free games. It feels like to me.
Yeah.
But it's. I thought about cancelling the order and refunding it, but I thought
principle that'd have been cancelled.
I wanted to do it, but then I just thought I'm just going to do myself over again.
The thing is, Gears is like 30 quid at the moment. I've seen it for $26.99.
It'll just. The thing is, I could walk in there tomorrow, pick them up, and give them back.
I would.
Just refund me.
I would consider that. I just say I've got it elsewhere.
Yeah.
Well, that is. You know what they've done there, and it's like what I do at work. You make when you don't really want to do something, you make it so poor and so difficult for people to do, they don't bother in future. They don't want people clicking and collecting. It's hassle for them. They obviously haven't got a system in place to take it from the store stock. They've got to get some poor bastard to go and deliver it, send out all these confirmations. It's hassle for them. So what they've done, they've just made this the worst experience possible, so in future you don't bother.
Well, I won't.
No.
I won't. But when that game credit goes, they're the last place that get bought from because they're absolute rip-off merchants.
No. I don't remember the last time I bought a game. It was Overwatch, actually. I bought that online again for the same reason. I sent old Seal down to the local town in Southend. She was out. I was like, I'll get Overwatch with my gift card that someone had got me.
Yeah.
And I looked online. I think it was 40 quid. Went in there and they was like, yep. $48.99. She paid it, didn't know any the wiser. I was like, how much was that game that you bought? Because it triggered. I thought maybe they've got it more expensive. And she went, oh, $48.99. I was like, no, take that back now. made her take it back and ordered it online. They delivered it. That took about a week though, and they obviously don't like it. The only time I would ever usually buy anything from game is for hardware.
Yeah.
Because usually, especially it's like, say we're looking at the Nintendo Switch, that'll be the same price everywhere at release. They won't be getting away with marking up that. So, and I use it to trade in against that and whatever. But that is our biggest UK retail chain for gaming, and it's just awful from top to bottom.
It is trash. It's just. You're quite right. I will not be doing that again. I'm not that stupid to go through that rigmarole. But until you try these things, you don't know. It could have worked out really well. It could have been in store within a couple of days, and I'd have been laughing. I'd have been at work, picked it up, job done. But as it so happened, it's not worked out that way. But
this all started as more of a personal feud, though, wasn't it? This click and collect, because you wanted to go in there with that bald chap and take it off him for cheaper.
Yep.
That's why you did that and ordered it to that store.
Yeah.
So it's cost you, isn't it? Your venom.
My absolute anger and spiteful nature has actually come back to bite me in the arse. But
which is a shame.
When I actually thought about it, when I say I wanted to play it this week, I probably wouldn't have played it. So, because I've been busy most of the week doing other which is annoying, really. But I'm more annoyed about the fact that I've just had nothing. Like the fact that somehow 8 working days is completely acceptable. And even online, they just kept apologising. I was like, well, it's 8 working days, mate. I can order something from China to be here quicker than that. So what are we doing?
Yeah, it's no good. And it's a story. The reason why I kind of use that's A, because I knew it would be funny, and B, there's a report out today, not today, this week, so this past week, UK retail game sales down 50% year on year. And you think, well, when there's experiences like that happening, you think no fucking wonder. People are getting sick of it. But it brings up a point, doesn't it? Why are retail sales going down? Now, is it due to an uptake in digital gaming? So are people buying their game, more people going down the digital route? Is there a shift to PC gaming, which is typically digital as well? So is that part of it? Was there a stronger games lineup last year? Has new hardware like the PS4 Pro or the PlayStation VR in particular, has that played on people's mind where they've been saving for that piece rather than the software that's coming out? Or is there just genuine less interest in games in the UK? What do you think? Because we've seen this is the biggest drop. 50% is huge. That's half of it just not there anymore. What do you think out of those? Do you think it's a combination of all of them?
This probably is, yeah. I think there's a bigger market now for digital downloads and convenience. The thing is, if you go to try and download Call of Duty, for example, from the Xbox store, it's 55 quid. Yeah. If you go into game, it's 50 quid.
Well, it's 55 when you went there, wasn't it?
Yeah, so this is so it's the same price. So why would I not just go, well, I can just do it from my home? Why do I need to go to buy this game? It's the same price. What does it matter?
Yeah, unless you're trading, a lot of people don't trade. It's only really if you're a casual fan, you're not really going to trade. I may as well just chuck it and bin it afterwards. So why not just? I'm pretty sure Pete probably bought Battlefield 1 on bloody digital, knowing him.
I don't know. I think he might have actually gone out and bought it, but I think he bought it from Game.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's the only
So
place it would go.
yeah. But that's the thing. I just go, and especially now, you get quite a lot of deals regularly. Black Friday is always a good one to pick up a game. But it's hard to say because I've got nothing to go on. But I just feel like if I was the casual gamer and I wasn't that fussed about it, then I'd just download it. Internet connections are so quick now. You can have them done in a night. Wake up the next morning and play it.
Yeah.
I think it's probably people are generically lazy. They don't want to go and save a fiver, go through 8 days of hassle like I have. They won't bother for that. So
no, and you've got services like Amazon, and particularly if you're like a Prime member, you can get it next day.
Yeah.
It's that's. I know that's an online retail. I don't know if that counts actually into these stats. I've got a feeling this is all just footfall. The retail stores themselves, so that could be another issue with it. But it's a big drop anyway.
I think Asda not doing it properly have probably cost it a little bit.
Well, weren't they? I remember you used to say Asda.
They used to be the title. They were the place I used to go and get all my games from. But I don't know what's wrong with them now. They just don't. For some reason, like the latest titles are just never there on the shelf. Like I just never have them out. Tesco are a bit better, but they're not that good on it. And I think
not consistent, are they? Chucking out £46 for Battlefield 1. I expect that to be on the £42 mark.
They're normally £44 normally where they max out, in my experience. I don't think I've paid a game for more than that, and they normally undercut as well. So that £42 is normally the going rate for them. But yeah, quite peculiarly, they were 46 for that, which I found odd. Like it's not a Call of Duty title. It's not going to be hugely popular, I don't think, in that respect. So it's a bit surprising for me to see that. But yeah, I think where do you get games from, really? No one's buying CEX brand new. You go Game, maybe a supermarket, really. Surely, unless there's something I'm missing in a store.
HMV's pretty much folding up, isn't it?
Yeah, that's gone.
I mean, there's stuff there, but there ain't a lot. It is. It is pretty much Game. I just feel like store-wise, that's all you've really got. I mean, I'm always pretty much getting stuff online, like typically from somewhere, whether it's a Simply Games or the Game Collection or Amazon or Tesco Direct.
I absolutely would, but they just can't be trusted to get it here.
No.
And some of them you go, right, I'll have it delivered elsewhere. They go, no, same as your billing address. Well, no, why are you doing that? Why is that being imposed? I'm logged in and telling you to do it. Stop fucking me about.
Yeah.
They can't be trusted to get it here.
No,
I need it to be delivered elsewhere. Might use your place as the delivery hub.
Yeah, well, I'll probably unravel it though and stop playing it. if it turns up here, it's getting played.
Yeah.
I'm trying to clarify whether those 50% decline is actual footfall into shops. All it says is 50% year on year for boxed games, which I imagine that is all in store stuff. But according to GfK, the sales figures for week ending Saturday, November the 12th, 2016, saw 651,637 games sold, a 52% dip when compared to this week ending Saturday on November the 14th, 2015.
What released last year around this sort of time? I wonder if
Fallout 4, which crosses, doesn't it? We know that sells well amongst people like us and the wider market. You've had Metal Gear Solid, which may have been another big one. What else was there? I mean, there's plenty. But this year, to be fair, I don't think it's been bad.
No, it's just I think it's got something to do with the fact that people are only buying one of the big three games: COD, Battlefield, and Titanfall. Really, aren't they?
Tetten's not getting bought, is it?
Well, no. Well,
that's £35 already. What's going on there?
Yeah,
that's not even a Black Friday deal. That's just a markdown happening for a short period of time.
Yeah, I can't believe that.
Well, it's people like you who've turned their back on it, who've forced them.
It just weren't the same. I told you, it was like Treyarch when they made Call of Duty. It was
You loved World at War.
That was the only one that they made where I went, this is definitely... And that's only solely because I like World War Two, so that's why that got installed. But there was always saying that it just didn't feel like what it was done previously with them by Infinity Ward, and it's really weird. This one, it just didn't feel like Titanfall to me anyway, and I love Titanfall.
You'll get bought one day.
Well, yeah, that's going to be a £10 or something like that, isn't it? Well, it eventually drops down to that sort of silly price, doesn't it? It weren't that long ago that it was a tenner. I think it was about a year after it was launched.
I can't be waiting a year to play that.
You really liked it, didn't you?
I just like Titanfall. I just think it's one of the better first-person shooters.
You wait until you get on that Battlefield 1 and you'll go...
It's too hard. I've seen them all struggling in the group, complain about how hard it is.
Don't listen to those idiots. It ain't hard. If you try and play it like Call of Duty, it's hard. Yeah. They've been playing that fucking team deathmatch on there as well, which is idiotic.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You don't play that on Battlefield, and I keep telling them, conquest or nothing, really. Yeah. Because what's the point in playing it for anything else? It just isn't. Conquest is enough on that. That's my opinion, and that's where you're going wrong. So as soon as you start getting into that, that's where the daddy modes are.
Well, it's more than likely going to get bought Battlefield 1 just to have another little. I'm not really a major fan of these games, but I'll play 1 or 2 a year, blast through the campaign, then jump on multiplayer just to, if it's just to socialise or to fuck about. That's basically all it's there for. But they do have a place somewhere in my library. It's going to move on and get Nintendo update out the way. There's a lot of Nintendo stuff happening. Or happened. Well, it's rumours, a lot of it. But
I was going to say, how much has happened or how much has been rumored?
Well, this is what has happened. Super Mario Run release date and price revealed. So December the 15th, it will be arriving on iOS, and sometime in 2017 for Android devices. Windows binned. Windows gone. As good as. We knew going into it there was going to be no microtransactions in it. I was rightly corrected on that. It was just going to be you pay a fee of some sort and you get the game.
Mm-hmm.
$7.99 is what they've come up with. So it's £8 UK. I think it's $10. Might be more actually. I have to check that in the US, but we're in the UK. We'll be dealing with that. You might seem like the most inappropriate person to have on for Nintendo stuff, but especially with this particular piece, it fits because you are our mobile master.
Yeah.
So you know how that industry works. You're playing it. You're using the games. As we said, it's a free to start game. That's what they've called it. Pokemon Go saw financial absolute titles being a free to play game with microtransactions. Now I do feel that the way they're doing, Super Mario Run is a fairer way to do it. You know what you're paying for. Whether the price is right, I don't know, but you pay for that, and that's all you're going to be paying for. So for me, as a consumer, I feel that's fairer outside of the mobile bubble. But will this resonate, and will this be a smart business move? Is my question to you, considering how other games are structured in the mobile market.
I like the way generally mobile games are structured. I like the microtransaction element of them. All the ones that I play are completely free to buy, but if you want to buy gems and stuff or coins, then it's there for you to do.
Incubators.
Well, or incubators in Pokemon Go. Yeah. That works well for me. I don't feel like anything I play definitely needs me to be paying the money out there. It's just there if I want it to accelerate the process. That's fine. Yeah. Paying, I'm not sure if I like free to try. I'm not quite sure what that's all about.
Get a level, didn't you? Or maybe 2. And then at the end it goes £8.
Yeah, see that
Mario goes £8.
I don't really like that, but then with the sort of game that Mario Run will be, which is effectively going to be levels and you just probably jump.
Yep.
For me, that's too simple for £8. I think that's what that boils down for me. So that puts me out of range for it.
Yeah. Do you think that'll be the same with others in the mobile market? Because there's a system that works there. We've seen it time and time again with how much fucking money those games make. I don't see a lot being priced for this amount. And Chapper's put up a good point. XCOM is on mobile devices. That's £8. That's a full console game.
Yeah.
It's been squeezed down into it. So when you pay £8, that's what you're expecting. Whereas with Super Mario Run, like you said, there's a few features to it, but you are just jumping essentially, and it'll be levels, runs of levels for you to do.
Yeah, as I say, for £8, I think they're asking a lot. It feels, or on the sort of when you boil it down to what it is, it feels like a lot. But £8, I think we need to get away from the fact that mobile games are shit, because they're not. Ooh. Actually. Well, no, they're not shit, but everyone sort of looks down on them a little bit. Their fucking phones and tablets are really powerful now.
Yeah.
Like, they can cope with quite a bit, and
got bloody XCOM on there.
Yeah, and
Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic. You can pick that up for £8.
I think
one of the best games ever made. It's on fucking iPad or iPhone.
Yeah.
Your own decisions.
And they run quite well. They run fine. They look good. I mean, look, I'd say to anyone that's doubtful of mobile gaming to go and play them on a tablet. I don't really
make a difference.
Yeah. Like, you wouldn't think that when I got my iPad, I thought I'm never going to really play my mobile games on here. Why would I want to? I don't play them on anything else but that really now.
Right.
They're all on there, and I play them all on there, and I love playing them on there. It's just it makes it 100 times better. So if you're doubtful of mobile gaming and you've got a tablet, download a few and play them, because in my opinion it makes it a whole lot better. So when I'm judging a mobile game now, I judge them by if I was playing that on a mobile, on a train or on a bus, how good's that? Also, if I'm playing that on a tablet, how much better would that be? So that's what I try to judge it on. And I can understand there is a premium around Mario because of nostalgia. £8 of a premium for a running game where you just press jump to get over stuff, I'm not too sure. It feels like a lot. Again, though, unless they're going to give away lives for microtransactions, how are they making their money off it?
Well, no, they won't. That's the thing. They've categorically said there won't be any unless they do a 180 on that. So it will be they'll be expecting to make their revenue off people playing the first level or so, and then paying the premium of £8.
I think people will pay it.
Who though? Because you look at who's playing these mobile games. Are they really that interested in Mario?
Japan.
Like Japan, yeah. They probably are.
They've got a massive mobile market. It's not on Apple, but it's all Samsung out there.
But have they not been indoctrinated into this free-to-play microtransaction? Well, it must be similar structure over there. So again, this might be a shock to their system. They go, cool.
But is it because it's
8
Mario?
million yen?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Whatever it is, but it's something. It is that high sometimes when I look at things being translated.
Yeah. I don't know whether it'll be a shock to their system, but they're unpredictable. When you look at the leaderboards for a lot of these sort of
core 1,094 yen. That's going to set them back. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
I wonder if they'll do a special price for Japan because it's Nintendo.
I would.
I reckon they might.
This is probably not an accurate
800 yen.
Yeah.
Still sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, but I think you can't buy a bag of crisps over there for that. So they're all millionaires.
Yeah. They all must be, yeah.
That's probably off.
Gonna go and buy this car.
Yeah.
25 million yen.
Yeah.
What?
Right. 100 million yen a year.
Yeah. Ridiculous. So actually, 1,200 yen's nothing.
No.
Same way that £8, when you boil it down to it, isn't a lot.
Well, that pound's in the shitter as well, so I don't know how that's what that's normally converted as before everyone lost their arsehole over Brexit. But
all the currencies are in the fucking bottom of the bins at the minute, aren't they?
Yeah, trash it.
Yeah, I don't know. I prefer the
You
try.
prefer the
I
try and
like
test it
that
model.
because then I can just play it for nothing. So that's me being
But couldn't you
greedy.
see yourself on a whim just going, oh, I'm not going out tonight. I'll spend that on a pint. I'll just chuck not a pint and a half. I'll chuck £8 at that and see what it's about.
No.
No,
No, I don't. My type of mobile game is completely different. I can't sit there and just
yeah.
press aimlessly all evening. I like strategy or some kind of.
It'll be hard though. It'll be strategic. You have to
Yeah,
get your
but
jumps
it's
right.
just jumping and timing and stuff. It's like them fucking indie games. Oh, no.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the only games I
Oh,
play on what's the name, the mobile lately, was that hill climb racing.
I don't know why you're still playing there.
I know, I've deleted it now because I need a new phone.
Yeah.
Bottom rather than waffle, but yeah, I like that game, and that was not a typical mobile game. That was trials. It was
It was all right. That
I've
I've got pretty far. There's a couple of games like that. I like those sort of games to pick up, play a few levels, and then put them down.
Didn't have to pay £8 for it though. I must admit.
Well, exactly, and I just don't know what they're going to do with it. I just go for £8. You're probably expecting quite a bit. I mean,
it's got quite a bit in it. It's
well.
got like competitive and ghost play, and it has got a fair amount to it. But
it's basically enhanced Flappy Bird, really, isn't it?
If you took,
when you boil it down to the basics,
it's got Mario on it. Yeah, I don't know. I can't. Some people think this is suicide. That price. I think it will still do well, but it won't be like Pokemon Go, which was making week after week tons of money, surely, because people go out and buy it once they've played the one level. Then after that, they can't make any more revenue off it because it's done. Once they've paid that money,
tops out, doesn't it?
Yeah. Maybe they're not trying it. Maybe this is part of the plan. But at the end of the day, as we all know, money is what they want. It'd be interesting though, because it might open up a few other games to do this rather than doing microtransactions, which might.
Well, I've seen Sonic keep sniffing around there as well, so watch that space.
Because although you're into the free-to-play with microtransactions, there's a lot of people that are put off by that. So this is catering towards them.
I don't understand how you can be put off by it. I mean, as I say, Supercell do it so well. They are great at mobile games and free-to-play. They do it really, really well. And they're one of the most successful mobile game companies out there. And they've got TV adverts for their games. You don't see that very often. I don't think I've seen any Boom Beach ones, but Clash Royale you've probably seen.
Yeah, little Viking or whatever. Yeah, blonde moustache roaring round.
Clash of Clans was doing it up until recently. I haven't seen one for that, but they just do it so well. They really do.
One of the bastards was having adverts in cinema before films. I can't remember which one it was. There's like a little 2-minute. Like little narrative playing out, and it was like Clash of Clans or something. And then I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, they must be making an absolute fortune. It doesn't surprise me. But the thing is, even if I did pay for those, I don't actually mind. I play them every day. Yeah. I wake up, I'll be lying in bed with a coffee, and I'll go and collect my resources, do my base, whatever. I'll do that. I might go and attack a few bases, and then you can put it down after 10 minutes, and then you can pick it up later on in the day. Like they do it so well. And I'd say to any company out there that wants to do mobiles, check out Supercell stuff. That is a way to do it well.
There you go. That's the end of that particular piece. Next piece of news for Nintendo. Well, actually, no. We're out of the news phase. This is now rumour phase.
News phase gone. So all that news boiled down to one bit.
The reason I thought I'd bring up the rumours, I thought there was more. When I started reading this out, I was like, no, it's not news. This is rumour. The reason why I thought we'd do the rumours is because they were so accurate on the Nintendo Switch leaks.
It basically becomes
well, it might as well be. Pokemon Sun and Moon, which releases this coming week, rumoured to be arriving on Switch. I think that's a no-brainer for me, isn't it?
Got to be, innit? Mobile, basically. Anything they're releasing on mobile's got to come out on Switch.
Yeah, if they ain't putting that on the Switch, that's money being left right on the table. What they're saying is it's going to be called Pokemon Stars, and it'll come towards the back end of 2017, and it'll be like a director's cut edition, like they did with Emerald and Platinum. I'm not quite sure the details of those, but those who have played them will know what that is. So look out for that. I mean, I think that's a smart move. I will certainly pick that up for the Switch, should I have one. And based on another rumour, then there's a very good chance if this ends up being correct, that I'll be getting one, because the rumour is Nintendo Switch, the base model, will be priced at 200 UK pounds. No games with that one, obviously. That'll be like a base model, and it'll have a lower storage than the premium model, is what we're calling it at the moment. And the premium model will have Splatoon bundled with it, higher memory, and will be 250 UK pounds.
It's just, for me, that higher spec one, the premium one, is a no-brainer.
That's getting bought, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
For a lot of people.
Like, I will literally go out day one if that's the case and buy it.
I will as well.
I just will. 250 is a joke, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, for something like that, I mean,
Yeah.
I paid 300 and something for my iPad.
Does a lot of other things though.
Yeah, that
browsing that.
For a portable games console
that you can play on your telly as well.
You can play on your telly as well with Splatoon, which is very good.
Yeah.
250.
Yeah.
The thing is, some people don't value something, or they don't think it's very good if it's not expensive. So they go, well, that's got to be took then, isn't it?
It's true. There is a certain
I will
truth to
absolutely
that.
not be thinking that. I'll just go, thank you.
I'll have that.
Yeah, but I think that it surprised me because I was saying I think it might have been in a group actually. I said that Nintendo releases, or new releases anyway, are normally notoriously dear.
A lot of people say they're normally slightly overpriced because what they've stuck to and what they're saying they're sticking to still is that they don't sell the hardware at a loss, whereas Sony and Microsoft at the beginning sell the hardware at a slight loss, so the components cost more than the units, and they chuck them out there because they want to make the money back on the software, which is where the bread's buttered. So maybe, I don't know if that's changed in this one, but it could be just that they've found an efficient way to batch up and make these, and they can offer it at that price. Now we know it's not going to be super duper powerful, but we also know for a fact it's going to be the only place you can play the Nintendo games. They're not going to be appearing anywhere else. And yeah, the £250 bundle with Splatoon, like you said, I'll be going straight to gaming, click and collecting. Regardless of the rigmarole you've had, I'll be back there going, right, that money I've been saving up, that credit is getting done on that, basically.
It's got to. It's almost.
And I'm still going to have stuff left over from it. That's the amazing thing.
Yeah. I think everyone was thinking 400, wouldn't they?
Well, yeah, that would have been dead in the water. What I was expecting was 300 no game, 350 with one, and then I was thinking, well, come on. But if it's that, then that's fine for me.
Well, the thing is,
it costs me £100 a month to get the fucking tube. So you look at that and go, what am I getting out of that?
Everything can be equated back to something in London.
Yeah,
that is a fact.
Moving offices soon, so I have to deal with that tube. So that's in 2 months the Switch will be paid for as good as, if this is to be believed. So I mean that's excellent news. I hope it is true.
Yeah, I think we'd all be happy with that. Again,
trouble is now if it's not, we're all going to be pissed off. Even though it's a rumour. Do you know what I mean? Nintendo are probably sitting there going, "Fucking hell, it ain't going to be that, you cunts."
Yeah, I can understand. I'd be disappointed if it was more expensive, but the only reason it would become a day one purchase for me is because of the price. It will get trumped or it'll get pushed to the bottom of the pile for everything all the time, basically. So the question is, where's it go in my house at the minute? That is the real problem.
You can just plonk it next to any telly and plug the lead in. It's a little docking station, or bin the telly off, have it always on the pad.
Yeah,
that's the beauty of it. It doesn't need to be dealing with other things.
I'd like to be playing it on a TV.
Stick it. You have to go next to your laptop.
Yeah, true. It's only Diddy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a tiny little thing, but
we'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope if Nintendo are sitting there going, "Well, it ain't that," but they're gonna have a bit. Already, it's a shame, really, because if this, like I said, if this doesn't come to fruition, that will annoy people, and it ain't their fault that someone's gone, "Oh, 250," and chucked it out there, and it's been bullshit. If it's fact though, get them pre-orders ready because they will go at that price.
They will literally like hotcakes.
Yeah.
But will it be? I don't know. I don't feel like Nintendo are that popular anymore. Like when we were kids, Everyone had a Game Boy.
Oh, yeah, landscapes changed. Because Sony come along and went to PlayStation, and then obviously Xbox have now come along and gone with that. Sega have died out.
Yeah.
Atari, they don't be doing any hardware, so it's just those two. Then Nintendo, what they've done is, people will like the Wii U, but the fact is it only shifted 13 million, which is like pretty poor. I think there's people out there that want them, but they're not die hard enough just to buy it out of, just for the sake of it. Because the Wii U, for example, I'm sure there's more than 13 million Nintendo fans out there, but I think they just looked at it objectively and thought that doesn't look like something I want. They waited it out a year, and then when they saw the support dropping off, and then Nintendo themselves going, well,
blown this one.
Zelda ain't coming on this one before the next one. No, there's no point picking one up. They've ceased production, in fact, the Wii U. So I think that, I don't know, it's probably maybe not as popular as it used to be, but you still got all those people that grew up playing it, and the Nintendo Mini Classic that's come out. Don't know how many they produced.
Yeah, I saw that.
Always take this with a grain of salt. But they're gone. You can't get hold of them in the UK at all. And they're going on eBay for like £285. Cost £40. So I think the nostalgia's strong and people are still fans of them. They just got to get a bit of consumer confidence back. And a way to do that is to offer an entry-level price that isn't, demanding silly money from people to take a risk on something. It's still a lot of money to throw away. People don't want to, but you're much more happy to take a gamble on, even if you don't want to get the 250 one, you go 200 quid rather than 400 quid, for example. It's half price on some of those consoles. That Scorpio, we talked about Phil Spencer earlier. He said this is going to be for the high-end consumer on a Mexican website called Level Up. So it's going to be for the high-end consumer, and it's going to be coming at a premium price. And that says to me over £400.
Yeah, I'd expect so.
And that's a lot of money to take a gamble on when you've got an Xbox that you can buy for, I've seen them for £180 this last week.
It's crazy how cheap the hardware's going for this time round.
Yeah,
it really is.
So I think there's still fans for Nintendo. I think they burnt a few people with the Wii, and then they got annoyed and thought, well, I'm not doing that Wii U. But now I think if they can prove or show they're gonna support this properly and get everything out there, then there's a way forward for them. Although, having said that, the final rumour on this Nintendo update, no Zelda on release. So you can expect a delay on that, according to certain sources.
Need to get into Zelda. It's everyone.
That's not a botherance to you, that not being there, but for a lot of people, that is, if they've just heard that the first time, they're going to go, oh, fucking hell.
No.
If that ends up being true.
Give me that Pokemon.
That is that'll later in the year. The claim is the new 3D Mario is going to take its place, but we saw 2 seconds of that in the trailer.
I want a new Mario. I think we've completed finally the one on the Wii. So yeah, done it.
Have you got Super Mario Galaxy on that?
No.
Get it.
The games are so expensive now. Still for the Wii. It is a joke.
CEX might be your friend.
Look there, about 25 quid.
You ain't going to get them for 10 quid. That's the trouble with Nintendo stuff. It won't go down in price.
No, I looked at it. I went, 25 quid?
Yeah.
Me and Jodie play it once every 3 months at the minute. I was like, I ain't doing that.
No. It's a good game, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully it'll all arrive on the virtual console.
It ain't in HD either, which annoys me.
Yeah, that's no good, is it, for anyone? That's the sort of stuff that they've had to contend with, fans. You wonder why I didn't pick up that Wii U? Fuck me. They went, here's this with motion controls. Here's all these games. It's all shovelware, like shit, like third-party Wii Sports rip-offs.
Shovelware.
And here's all your games in non-HD when the 360s come out and Gears of War looks the fucking tits. At that point, they were no longer fighting the same battle. And they didn't adjust their pricing strategy accordingly with the Wii U, and it cost them. Now they've adjusted it.
Was the Wii U not HD either?
No, it was.
When it came out.
Yeah, it was expensive though. Still, it's still in that price range for other consoles. Whereas when you drop the price to 200, it's not the same battle as far as I'm concerned, which is what they're not trying to do. So all power to them. Let's hope they get it right.
They need to. I think they do need to.
don't care. They do care, but they've got so much money. They could do this 4 times over and still not be bothered by it. The investors will be like, fucking hell, but the actual company will be like, well, cash rich, mate. We can literally do what we want. And with that Super Mario Run running right, 8 billion with the $7.99 price tag, it's running right. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Last point, and then the game's releases. Delay news.
Ooh.
Persona 5.
What's that shit?
Delayed until April the 4th. Previous date, February the 14th. Persona 5 is a JRPG. Never played one. Never really heard of it until I started looking at games media a lot more, probably about 4 years ago, and I started seeing Persona 4 popping up everywhere and getting good reviews. Very, very niche game, but highly thought of in the gaming circles. So there's a lot of hype amongst certain media and outlets for Persona 5, but that will be delayed off of Valentine's Day, which is never. I can't see that being a good day to release any game. Who's going to get away with that, realistically? With the sort of bullshit that gets stirred up for it.
Yeah. Hi, honey. I haven't got you flowers, but
I bought this for myself.
Bought this. Yeah.
I'm just going to go in the other room.
What?
Yeah, it's not happening. Bonus for those people though that are interested. There will be DLC. Again, why is this DLC? Why can't you just code it into the game? There's DLC where you can download for free, and it'll give you dual audio options. So you can have the original Japanese voices but with English subtitles. Some people prefer that because, you know, it's a Japanese game. They like the culture. It feels more like how it should be. And sometimes the English voice actors don't always do a good job. So people, there's a game called Metro Last Light, which was rumoured to be getting a third game actually in after 2017, and it was set in Russia, Russian subways, and I've not played it, but it's one of those games that if I did play, for some reason I would put the Russian language on and have the English subtitles. I don't know why. Just for it to be authentic.
Yeah, I can understand that.
I have subtitles on for most games anyway, and I sit there reading the English ones. I think, well, I ain't watching their faces half the time. I might as well be doing that.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so that's a little bonus for people, even though it'll be delayed. I'm sure they won't matter too much. The crazy thing is that's out in Japan at the moment, but this is all the localization, getting it translated and re-recorded and stuff, which always costs them. Game releases, and then we're out of here. Tuesday, the 22nd of November, Darksiders War Master Edition, basically a remaster. Wii U, Xbox One, PS4. Wii U.
How's that getting released on that?
No idea.
Who signed that off?
Amnesia Collection, PlayStation 4, digital only. Wii Sing, not Nintendo Wii, just Wii, W-E, Sing, Xbox One, PlayStation 4.
God.
Wednesday the 23rd of November, big day, getting good, strong reviews. Pokemon Sun and Moon on the 3DS, soon to be Switch if you're to believe the rumours. Friday the 25th of November, Steins Gate Zero, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita. So apart from Pokemon, fuck all. Really,
yeah, I was going to say.
Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I mean, be honest about it. Oh no, sorry, there's more on Friday. I didn't scroll down. There's no good. Marvel Pinball Epic Edition.
Fucking hell.
Xbox One, PS4. The Voice, Wii U, Xbox One, PS4. Animal Crossing, New Leaf, Welcome Amiibo, 3DS. So, whatever. Yeah, you needed a week off though sometimes. I've got to decide what PC game I'll get next week. To really kick, I've got a load on Steam I should play through. I want Gears, but I want Gears on that Windows, but it's £41, and I'll be seeing it for $26.99 on Xbox One. I think, well, as much as I want to play it in the rich detail, I was told it was cheaper to buy these fucking games on PC.
I was going to say,
I'm getting that.
Been really shafted.
Nah, it's Windows Store in it.
Well,
they're saying that Civ 6, £40.
They're starting to catch on, aren't they? Charging you them premium prices for them premium graphics.
I'll be finding those keys somewhere, getting it cheaper. It's going to have to be, innit?
Can you do that anymore?
Yeah, yeah, you still can. You still find keys. And it's not illegal. It's just that the guys that buy them, essentially, this is how I understand it to happen: is I go, you're Alan in whatever game.
Alan's
You're
back.
Alan. Alan's you're sitting there in your office,
Yeah.
and I don't know what it is. Say it is Civ 6, and I come to you and I say, Alan, I want to buy 100,000 keys off you, like cash. Like, here you go, money up front. There's no refunds on these keys. I'll buy them for you at this price, and it's obviously a lowered price, and then they can pass that saving on to the consumer. Whereas when you're, buying things in a smaller batch, Alan goes, well, I'll be charging you more for that because
Oh.
it's not guaranteed money. It's money in the bank straight away
Mm.
if you buy in big bulks, and that's my understanding of how that works and how the keys get passed around. Now, I'm sure there are some dodgy websites out there. There's definitely resellers and other things there's stuff that happens, but just got to be a little bit careful of who you use and make sure you're using validated sources. And typically you find nothing fishy about it. It's just that they've procured their keys in high batches and taken the risk that they're going to shift them all, and they do. So that's what happens. I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's close this thing down. If you want to find out what we're up to in the week when we're not recording the podcast, dimpdigital.com has all of our audio, video and written content. That's it for now though. Game over. It's goodbye from Logan.
Ta-da.
It's goodbye from me, Apps. Thanks for your time, and ta-da.